All right, so this is another live recorded session looking at the NASDAQ futures. Right now, eyeballing a supply zone resting on the 120 range chart right here. It's a high probability zone where there's a imbalance or gap resting at the zone itself. Looking at the overall structure of the market so far, yes, I mean, last couple of days we were pushing to the upside. Again, I covered this yesterday but before breaking back. So we didn't take out this high on the push to the upside here, where we took out making these higher highs and higher lows, breaking structure higher. So, you know, we have there's a high there, but there's a actual high here, okay, and then a low right here. So on the way down here, we broke some structure here, here, and here, and then we started pushing back to the upside as we started making these higher highs and higher lows back to the upside. Within this leg coming down, but we never took out this high here. So we're actually in between this high and this high right here, and just kind of waiting to see. I mean, this is a major low here. That's a major high right there. But the market never broke this high yesterday when it pulled back here on its way back down. So yesterday I mentioned that there was a supply zone right here for a quick scalp before it broke this high right here, okay? But we never took out that major high there. And then shortly after, about 11 o'clock, the market started coming back to the downside. We broke below this area structure, this low here at 19,731. Into the overnight session, Asian and London coming to the downside, broke the structure here, and looks like we also broke below these lows here and some lows here, but we still, oh, yes, we did. I'm sorry. Yeah, we did. We actually broke this area, this major low right here. A slight breaker structure right there on the low of today right here at 19,000, basically 600. So we broke this low here, sitting here at 602, somewhere there, 603. So yeah, this is a breaker structure, major breaker structure to the downside right here. And right now the market is pulling back. So this is a supply zone. I'll be interested and very, curious to see what's going to take place here when the market tests this area here. If we look down at the 24 range chart, we can see that there's that red line marked up there. There is a supply area on the 24 range right here. Okay, so this would be, this is what I talk about as part of the strategy, zone within a zone confluence approach. First and foremost, figuring out the structure of the market, then identifying, whether we're bullish or bearish. If we're bearish in this case here, marking up your first area of, your supply area there on your higher base chart. And as the market is retracing back to it, start looking at your lower base chart as it's retracing to the zone to see if, once it gets there, if you can capitalize on, which is right here, the supply zone. Let's see. Let me do this right quick. Blow this up a little bit more so I can take a look. Yeah, actually, small area. Let me mark this zone up right quick. Let me do that. I'm gonna put it on, make it so you can see it on all charts. That makes it easy for myself too. I'm looking to the upside here as well. Looks like everything except for this zone, except for this area up in here hasn't been filled back to the upside, meaning the imbalances. But if I look to see, this is the 120 range supply zone resting right there. There's a small little area of supply here, but there's also one up here around about 822, 821 and 3/4, right up in this area, or 822 and a half, I should say, right here in which the market could test. So yeah, it could test here, but it could also want to come back and fill the gaps up in this zone here. So there is a supply area on the 24 range right there as well. So we'll see what happens. I'm not saying that the market will come up there and test that area. It could continue breaking lower, which meaning that, okay, on the 120, now that it's pulling back, we could break below the low of the day at 603 and a half and get a new breaker structure. So we'll see what actually happens and takes place. Right now, I have to kind of just, be patient as I always do. So we're not too far away from this supply zone. The market's not doing too much today since the open, but we are chopping to the upside. Coming back down to a small 60 range demand zone that I have marked up. I would prefer to like to see it come down to maybe possibly 711 here. So just wait to see what happens. This could be for a quick scalp, maybe back up to 734, maybe a little lower. We'll see what happens. Again, I'm following price action as the market comes back to the zone here, or retraces back to the zone. Now this will be a counter trend setup in counter trend to the overall market direction. We are, bearish movement or sentiment on the 120 because we're breaking structure coming to the downside. Again, it's the supply area here. But when I'm looking at the 60 range, we are, making higher highs and higher lows. So this is counter trend for a quick scalp. If it taps here and rejects off the 60 and maybe the 24. So we'll see what happens. I'm trying to look here to see as well whether any opportunities. There's an area down here that's also counter trend. Again, now I'm looking at this zone here, but it could also come down here and test here below around about 691 as well. So I'm going to wait to see what does happen here at this zone right here, maybe around 711 if it comes here first and foremost before I even, engage or take any interest in doing anything at this point. So we'll wait and see. All right, we can see it tapping off the off the 60 range, counter trend demand zone right now. Okay, I'm trying to see if it's going to react off of this zone, come a little lower here. Now it could bounce right here where it's at now. It's a small demand zone. Okay, off of the 120 and the 60, but still, I would prefer to see it come a little bit lower here. All right, looks like we're tapping the zone now. So let's see. Okay, if it breaks through this zone, I'm not going to be taking any interest in going long here. Okay, I'm going long. I'm just interested in scalping this back up to the upside here. Come on. And I'll tell you what, this is going to be a quick scalp. I'm just going to scalp it back up to here. I need to put a stop in place right quick. All right. Tight stop on this. Come on. Let's see if we can get filled here. It's probably for like a 10-point scalp here if we can get it. Come on. It hit my, okay, we got filled there. All right. So I'm closing that position out now. Quick 10-point, maybe 11-point scalp there off of the NASDAQ. This is the target area right here. So let me go ahead and mark that because that's a supply area there. Right here. Okay. Nice supply area. Rejection off of the 24 range right here and the 60 range chart as well. So let me mark this up right quick while I am looking at this. All right, mark it on all charts so we can see it both on the 60 and the 24. Okay, supply area, breaker structure above here on the 60, and we got a break here structure, and this is a 24 demand. Again, it's counter trend now. Okay, this is a little bit more risky, but it is both of those were high probability in relation to, in relation to the actual. What am I doing here? Having an imbalance or gap back at the zone. Sorry about that, guys. I'm trying to pay attention. It's kind of tough making these videos when you're trying to trade live and record at the trade live and discuss things at the same time in relation to what you're seeing. Okay. All right. So it can test lower area. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. That we can test some. Let me get back over to my 24. Some lower areas maybe down here, but the market's pushed up and it's testing that 120 supply zone that I mentioned earlier. I had to reboot my program. You can see my charts are still loading here. I had a slight issue this morning, but anyways, while that's loading up, yeah, this was looks like so far the market is rejecting off of the 120 that I talked about earlier on, that valid supply zone. This is following the direction of the market. Coming back down, breaking structure, here pulling back, nice area of supply. But, we just never know. Sometimes the market, it's going to do what it wants to do. It could break through this area and continue pushing higher. Maybe want to test. I don't see anything on the 120 further up or up here. Yeah, it could test this area up here if it chooses to. But let's see how it reacts here. Again, you got to follow price action. What's, below you. I mean, we are making these higher highs and higher lows. It could react here and just come down to this area here and then bounce and go to the upside here. So This is a valid supply area right here. Looking at the 60, let's see, looks like it may have tapped a, yep, 60 range. Let me double check, guys, before I open my mouth too much. Yeah, 60 range, supply zone resting right here. So we got more confluence there. Looking over at the 24, really got to bring it in. I don't see a, let me blow this up a little bit. Let me blow this up. Yeah, up here, but it's way up here at 823. I'm not sure if the market got up there or not. So let me make sure I have this measured right, or drawn up right, I should say. Okay, so yeah, this is a 120, 60 range supply zone. Looking at the 24 range, 19,823, somewhere up in that area there. So I don't know if we got there yet. Let me go over here. Nah, we stopped at 811. So right now it's reacting off this 60 range, okay? And as you can see, I mean, yeah, it's coming down. It may test this area here, like I said just a moment ago, 19,758. Let's see if it does. We're only about 9-10 points away from it, 8 points maybe now. But yeah, if I was taking this off of the 120 and the 60, I would definitely have entered in right here at 796.5. I wanted to take this trade here, to be honest with you, but I was really wanting to take it from the 24, but that's fine. But I had to restart my computer, and luckily, I mean, not luckily, but unfortunately, I missed this opportunity here. Look at it. Look at it. See? Hit it. Hit it. See that? You hit that is that area right here. This is a supply area here. It's also a small breaker structure above this high right here at 19,773. Okay, so again, let me go up here and draw the 60 range supply zone. All right, I'll put that in magenta. Okay, and we'll put it across all charts as well. Okay, so that we can see. All right, again the 24 is further up at 823. It didn't tap that area, but yeah, this was a nice trade to take off of the 120 and the 60. I don't recommend anybody, unless you have a larger size account, taking a trade from a, we got multiple chart confluence here, the 120, the 60 range, but taking it from the 60, there's a lot of points within one candle in which the market could pull back and put you in major drawdown if you don't have the right account size to cover that, okay? So just be mindful of taking trades from the 60 directly, even if you have confluence from the 120. But this was a nice setup. I could have taken this right here at 796 and taken it on down here to 757. I mean, almost 756. And that's 40 points right there. 40 points. So yeah, that was a beautiful trade to the downside right there. And I'm looking what the market is doing now. It's come down and tested this demand zone right here. There was a demand zone right here off of the. There's a demand zone off the 120 there, right here, and you have one off this 60 sitting down here. So yeah, that was a quick little scalp, maybe back to the upside, but again, the overall direction of the market is bearish, so we have to be very mindful of that as well. I'm just waiting to see what is it going to do next here. Is it going to want to push lower or push higher? And I took a quick scalp off of the gold earlier going long. It is counter trend. It was a supply setup resting down here off of the 30 and 12 range chart. So I was trying to find something on the off the 60. As you see, small area right here. You move down to the 60 range. I'm sorry, the 30 range. There's a demand zone resting right here. But again, this is counter trend, guys. So this is more risky. And then I moved down to the 12, and there was a demand zone to the left-hand side of the chart. But either way, I mean, it did work out for a quick scalp. I should have held it and took it up here to 318 area. Looking at the 30 range as well. I'm trying to see here. Yeah, 318 area, 314, maybe 315, got out there. Somewhere that area right there. And looking back at the higher base, the 60 range, could have taken it up here. So anyways, that did work out. I just want to show you that. I didn't record that trade there. It was just a quick scalp earlier. So I kind of got my little 2 trades in for the day. Not much on that trade there. It was about it was almost 3 points on gold. So gold there's 10 ticks in every point on gold. So that's almost 30 ticks right there. Almost 30 ticks. So either way that worked out. It was a nice little opportunity for a long scalp there. Let me make sure here. 10. Yeah. So it was almost more like 25, 26 points, right? I mean, like 25 or 26 ticks there, which is about 2.5, 2.6 points there. So nice little trade. Not going to complain. Could have held it a little longer, but that's all right. Now I'm going to go back and look at the NASDAQ right quick. Not a lot of price action activity since the opening. We got these little swings to the upside. This was the trade right here. I mentioned this, threw it out there. The trade of the day to take. For anyone that did take it. Unfortunately, I missed this opportunity because I was in the process of restarting my computer. And by the time I had restarted it, it was already there. But I had marked it up, talked about it early in the video. And if you caught this trade setup, you did very nice. At least taking it back down to this little demand zone here. So if you got into the trade, maybe off 797 area, or maybe you got into a so maybe 797. Let's see. Yeah, maybe 797, the break and close of the candle. And you took it down to, going back to the higher base chart, took it back down to 758. Yeah, I mean, you did very nice. I mean, even if you could have got 20 points off of that, you did well. Because you got to think about it. For every for every 20 points trading the E-mini NASDAQ futures, that's roughly on one contract it's $400. 2 contracts that's $800. 3 contracts that's $1,200. So it adds up pretty quick. So just think about that. Every time you're trading the NASDAQ E-minis, for every contract you trade on 20 points, because there's 4 ticks in every point. So 20 points, that's 80 ticks, that's $400. Okay, so that's how that, you can profit from the NASDAQ fairly quickly doing so. But I'm not sure. I think I'm done for the day. Today's Friday. A lot of most Fridays, and it's past my cutoff time anyway. So I'm trying to wrap up this video here. But I wanted to kind of make a live recorded trading video. I did scalp and show you one trade that I took. This was a trade that I had marked up that I really wanted to take, but I missed the opportunity, and that happens, But luckily, I was able to take a gold trade on GC a little bit earlier prior to the NASDAQ long that I took. But the short, again, was going to be this right here. I mean, absolutely. Had I taken that, that'd have been really more than I should have traded today. That'd have been 3 trades, but I mean, I would profited very, very, very nice, and I still did today. No complaints, because at the end of the day, it's all about being green on the day and being very selective on the entry points. Okay, guys, I keep saying that, being very, very entry on your selection points. All right. But I appreciate it, guys. I hope everyone has a fabulous weekend. If you are not a current subscriber, please take the time, to go ahead and subscribe by clicking that sub button. Make sure to click the bell next to it so that you can receive the notifications when I post my video content. So that's the post notification little icon, that bell. Make sure to click on that. Anyone that's interested in becoming an elite channel supporter, all right? Let me explain this. You can become one, which is these are a list or a group of, I say list, it's a group of individuals. Anybody can join who's part of the community here, but you gain access to all the private video content surrounding the trade breakdowns. Those are the videos that really have helped lots of people out. And the reason why I say that is because they break down the trades that I take. So you know where to place your stop loss at. You know where to place your profit targets at. I walk you through structure, and we talk about that prior to. So it's basically, I'm walking you through my mindset as I prepare to engage and get ready to take the trade, or letting you know why I took the trade, so that you can look for similar setups just like this, okay? Back test and forward test the strategies just as well. If you're a first time viewer here in the channel, please spend some time watching the video content. I will start from the most recent video, what you're watching right now, going back. Don't go all the way to the beginning of the channel going forward, because more of the relevant information on which I talk about, each and every day surrounding the strategy is pretty much from today going back. So it'll help you out by watching the video content. But again, if you want to become an elite channel member or subscriber, the link is down in the description portion of the video right below the Discord. The Discord is free to join. Once you click on the Elite Channel member link, 2 tiers are going to pop up. You can join for $6.99. That's going to give you direct access to the trade breakdowns, the video playlist, and the great video that I covered on market structure for anyone struggling with that. It's only $6.99 a month. Think about it. That's pennies on the dollar a day. All right. So I just want to leave that out there. But again, today was a decent day. Not too much price action activity. Keep in mind, we are, and looking at, from the way I look at it, we are definitely bearish right now, still to the downside. That's why it rejected really nicely off of this. Now, if we go back up here and start breaking some structure to the upside, then you should already know that we should be looking for long opportunities when we start breaking something to the left or breaking structure, taking out structure to the left. So that's all I have, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you for taking time to watch today's video. I'll probably go back today to anyone that's part of the Elite Channel membership program, to where you got access to all the private video content. I'm going to go and discuss the long opportunity that I took on that counter trend setup off the NASDAQ today. And I'll cover this too, this scalp, not scalp, but this short opportunity that I had marked away at the early part of today's video, and talk about that as well to those individuals that may have not taken it, and showing you why it was such a good opportunity to take it as well. But outside of that, that's all I have. Take care, and I'll see everyone in the next video.